Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sunflower Diaries. I'm Kia here, and today I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know about the college admissions process. Also, if I'm looking somewhere else, that would be my laptop because I have my notes written down on there so that I'm able to cover all the points that I need to tell you guys about. So I've decided to divide this video into a few parts because this is a particularly long topic. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is choosing the right college or university. We come across a lot of words which we are not really familiar with. So this video is basically going to be about that. So there is a lot of confusion amongst international students as to what a community college actually is, because me being from India, we don't really have a concept of a community college. So definitely that is the first question that I'm sure everyone must be confused about. A community college is basically a 2-year institution which usually gives certificate or associate degree programs. So basically, when anyone goes to a 4-year university to complete their bachelor's, they have to do the first 2 years as foundation courses, or as we call the general core requirements, which include math, history, political science, government, etc. And community colleges give those first 2-year general core requirements as an associate's degree. Associate's degree can be in arts, science, depends on what field that you want to go in, but the general core requirements are usually the same for everyone who wants to get a bachelor's degree, irrespective of your major or what subject you want to get your degree in. So in a community college, the associate degree comprises of these general core requirements, and it gives you up to 60 transferable college credits, which means that you can do your first 2 years from a community college and you can then get it transferred to a 4-year university and join as a junior, or as we call the 3rd-year student. People who join the community colleges are basically people who may not be eligible for getting directly admission into a university, because most of the community college have an open admissions policy, which means that all you have to do is go and enroll in the classes or the associate's degree program that you want. Or even some US students do their high school degree along with the associate's degree so that they can finish their bachelor's degree in a short span of time. But usually international students directly look at going to the 4-year university. Colleges and universities also have a lot of types under them. So basically the first thing is that they do give bachelor's degree, definitely, because they are 4-year institutions. So they give bachelor's degree and are typically for 4 years. They are more competitive than community colleges and have the basic requirements like minimum SAT, minimum GPA, etc. Minimum score in TOEFL also matters for them sometimes. And some of these colleges or universities are more competitive than the others. Every university has their own requirements. Suppose one university has a requirement for 1300 in SAT, another may have a requirement for a 1500 in SAT. So it all depends from university to university. They are specifically meant for majors that will lead to a degree in the liberal arts. For example, Amherst, William, Vassar, etc. are a few examples of liberal arts colleges. They are extremely popular amongst the students who are going for liberal arts, and they were actually a few of the options that I looked at when I was applying. They are usually smaller and have lesser undergraduate students, as their student body is concentrated only in one area of study, either liberal arts. They usually have smaller campuses and mainly focus on the bachelor's degree. The next one is the general colleges. They are not the liberal arts colleges, but they are called college, like the St. Olaf College. Colleges are basically non-profit schools which administer to student needs and give them aid, and sometimes even give international students subsidized rates in order to pursue their bachelor's degree. They even give need-based aid to international students sometimes, which may not be available in a university setup. So they are also much smaller than universities, lesser students in comparison to universities, but they may have or may not the master's and the PhD programs as well. Universities are typically bigger than colleges and have a large number of students. Some universities even have 60,000 or more students per year. The intake itself is like 5,000, 6,000 students in one batch. They usually have the provision of obtaining not only the bachelor's but the master's and PhD degrees as well. They are again of two types: state university or private universities. So state or public are usually used interchangeably. They may or may not be the same, but the definition is actually more or less the same. They're really big universities. The ones that I applied to in the public universities were public research universities, and they were huge, with more than maybe 60,000 students sometimes to 30 to 40,000 students. And definitely they're cheaper than private universities. They have the provision of the in-state or the out-of-state tuition. Now the in-state tuition is for students who, suppose the University of Texas, so students who live in the Texas area will give the rate for the in-state tuition, and any other student apart from Texas residents will give the out-of-state tuition. That includes US nationals not from Texas and international students. So some of these public universities give a lot of scholarships to international students. The next one is private universities. Private universities are actually more competitive than public universities sometimes, but not all the times. Some private universities like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, etc. are more competitive than any other universities or colleges in United States actually, because they are what we call the Ivy Leagues, which everyone wants to get into, definitely. So they are way more expensive compared to public universities. Private universities like Harvard, Yale, their total cost of attendance ranges from somewhere between $60,000 to $80,000, and whereas for public universities it is somewhere from $35,000 to $50,000. So this was all about the education system in the United States. I would suggest, if you want to get into a particular school, do all the research that you can, write down their average SAT score, the average GPA, the threshold requirements basically that they have, like complete those requirements like the SAT or the GPA. If some university wants a 1500 SAT score, aim for that, because of course there is no surety that you will still get into it, because again admission system is different every year, and what the university wants in an ideal student again is also different every year. So there is no surety that you will still get into it. I have seen people who got a 1600 on SAT and were still not able to get into Princeton. So it definitely goes to show that universities look at more than just your standardized test scores. So definitely try your best. Again, if you get somewhere around the average that the university has, you are in a better position in the applicant pool of the university, and you probably have a higher chance of getting selected. Whether you get selected or not is a completely different story, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. So hopefully this video will help you guys in choosing the right university for you. And now that I've explained community college, the difference between colleges, universities, liberal arts colleges, etc., I'm sure it will probably be easier if you're looking at scholarships. It is a generalized thing that I have given you information about. It depends from university to university, college to college. So I would definitely suggest you go online, get into contact with their admission counselors or their international admissions, and try and get to know their process, and hopefully it will help you and you can get into your dream school. If you have any other questions, you can do so by the comment section below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for the next video.